I'm meteorologist Alex Calamia with a Wednesday morning update in the tropical Atlantic. We have 3 disturbances, one in the Caribbean, another in the central Atlantic, and another that's emerging off the coast of Africa, all to watch this week. Now, that African disturbance is still over land, so not expecting a lot of development with that quite yet. But the one in the Caribbean, that has an 80% chance of development in the next 5 days. And then the central Atlantic one's the healthiest at the moment. In the next 2 days, a 90% chance of development. So just about a guarantee that we get some organization on that before the work week is over. Let's take a look at Invest 97L. That's the one in the Caribbean. And now these Invests, that's the National Hurricane Center investigating it. We're seeing tropical weather models run on these storm systems, but they're not organized yet. So it doesn't have a name. It's not a depression. It is moving pretty quickly to the west at 17 miles per hour. We do have thunderstorm growth. It's just not in an area of organization yet. Those red cloud tops, those are indicating your cooler cloud top temperatures. Those are thunderstorm clouds. But notice that the model spread is huge with this system. So by the time we get to Monday morning, it could be really anywhere from the eastern Gulf of Mexico to the western Gulf of Mexico. And how organized this system gets is really going to depend on whether or not it interacts at all with the Yucatan Peninsula. We'll have to wait and see what happens with it. Definitely a lot of spread, and it's hard to really pinpoint which model to kind of go by because there is no center of organization yet. So these spaghetti models are even less reliable than usual when you don't have an organized system. Meanwhile, getting better organized in the Central Caribbean, Invest 98L, and this area of low pressure likely a little bit more this direction now, because you can see as of the 8 o'clock in the morning look, that low level spin kind of now circling westward, but it's basically moving due west at 17 miles per hour. Also a pretty decent amount of model spread with this. You can see by Saturday afternoon, the storm system possibly near Puerto Rico, whether to the north of that island or maybe in the Caribbean to the south. We'll have to wait and see what happens with this one as well, because it does take it into some familiar territory, potentially Cuba or the Turks and Caicos getting involved with this storm system by early next week. And it again depends on whether or not this system organizes and moves over any areas like land masses as to whether or not it develops very quickly. But very possibly looking at Laura and Marco by the end of this week. So we are really going through these names pretty quickly, and we'll have to watch carefully to see whether these storms have any impacts at all in the United States or anywhere else in the tropics. But definitely there is that potential.